What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today we're going to focus in on the Pittsburgh Penguins and what's in store for the Pens this upcoming year. Line previews and all that, and their review of their offseason, which was kind of disappointing. They missed out on Parisi, weren't able to land Rick Nash, and I'm still trying to find a winger to complement Crosby the way Neal has complimented Malkin, and I think to play with a guy like Sid or Gino's, any elite goal scorer, offensive player dream come true. And I did the piece a few weeks ago on the possibility of training Danny Heatley. I think that's an option. If Bobby Ryan's still on the market, I think he's an option. I think those are both two very, very good options. I can definitely complement Crosby. And but without further ado, let's focus in on the lines as they stand right now, August 15th, 2012. Up front, we got Sid the Kid, center, and Kunitz and Dupuis, pretty basic line. They've been together most of the last couple of years, or as much as Crosby's been healthy, those have been his line mates. Second line, we got Malkin with Neal and Eric Tangradi. I think this is here Tangradi steps up and shows why he had so much promise and why they traded for him 3 years ago from the Anaheim Ducks. He's that kind of player that can, bang bodies and score goals in and around the net with his soft hands and large frame. And I think if he can show consistency on a night in, night out basis, he can ride shotgun and really be a nice surprise and a good shot in the arm for the Penguins offense. Third line pretty much stays the same. You trade Jordan Staal, and then you plug in Sutter, Brandon Sutter, who you got in that trade, and then put him with Cook and Kennedy, basic. And then fourth line, Joe Vitale from Northeastern with Tanner Glass and Craig Adams. So you got two Beanpot schools represented on the fourth line of the Penguins. It's pretty impressive. And then on the back end, with Letang at start, Simo and Dupuis there. Dupuis still young defenseman, learning the nuance of playing professional hockey on a night-in, night-out basis. But I think he can really be a great complement to Letang. He does everything well. I think he needs to reel it in defensively a little bit. But he's really a jack of all trades in terms of playing defensive position, and can contribute offensively. Can kind of be a shutdown guy. Good sized kid at 6'2". And can really be a great complement to Letang, a fellow Q product. Second pairing, Brooks Orpik and Matty Niskanen, solid, both guys. And then Paul Martin and Ben Lovejoy, your third pairing. Martin has been kind of a disappointment since he got to Pittsburgh as a free agent 2 years ago. And like I said, if I were to trade for Heatley, he'd be a guy I'd definitely move to Minnesota. But like I said, watch that piece for further questions on that. And between the pipes, Flower and Vaucoon, I like the Vaucoon signings. He'll push Flower every day to be a better goalie. I think Fleury was disappointing, obviously, in that series against Philly. Burrs was a little bit less bad, but I think if Fleury can step his game up, all season long, we should be the top team in the Eastern Conference, even without landing a top flight winger for Crosby. But it's off-season trade and Staal, bringing in those assets. They got some of the best young defensemen in hockey with Dumoulin, who they acquired in the Staal trade, Joe Morrow, Derek Pouliot, who they drafted, and Ole Mata. They're stacked up front. On the back end, and then up front, Bo Bennett's a kid to look at. In camp, I'd give him a look with Crosby. I think he's going to need to start in the AHL, but play a preseason game or two with Crosby. They signed him out of Denver, first-round pick in the 2010 NHL draft. He's got a ton of skills, and I think he can be a guy that can, down the line, contribute and play a top-6 role with one of those two elite centers. And he's one of those guys that can possibly be a product of the guys he plays with, but can also create for himself. So it's something that, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm looking at down the line. But they got a plethora of young defensemen, some decent young forwards, and if Flower can, be consistent and Crosby can play all year, this is a team that can definitely compete for the Stanley Cup and be a favorite to come out of the East at least. That's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ, previewing the Pittsburgh Penguins 2012-2013. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the offseason and beyond. Later, guys.